Paramore's After Laughter. Is it funny? No. So After Laughter is their 5th album. Before that came Paramore, and that was a more poppy sound for them, which had a lot of great songs on that record, by the way, like Ain't It Fun, which was the main single on that one. But really, my favorite Paramore album is Riot, Misery Business, Crush, and That's What You Get. All great tunes. So coming into this album, I was kind of on the flip side. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it because the single kind of threw me off a little bit, but you know, you gotta accept change sometimes, and you know what, after multiple times of listening to that song, it's not that bad as I want, like what I thought it was, but definitely different. And I can't really blame them for trying this because everyone else is trying it almost. And actually, you know what, Paramore actually did a really good job transitioning into this. And I get why they're doing it because everyone else is kind of on that same boat. Especially Carly Rae Jepsen is just killing it with that Emotion album and the B-sides to that, which was also very fantastic. Which the cool part is, Paramore actually does a decent job at transitioning into 80s stylish pop punk, 80s synth pop music. It's kind of a blend of their stuff and 80s stuff, and it blends pretty well, I'm not gonna lie. Some of this writing seems really personal and kind of dark at times, and then you got these like bright, beautiful instrumentations in there, and it just kind of meshes really weird. But I kind of admire that because it makes it kind of like, makes it seem less depressing, I guess, when you're listening to this album, when you're like, oh, these bright, colorful instrumentations coming right at me, but also she's singing about being fake happy at the same time, and you're like, how am I supposed to feel about this? Most of the songs are pretty happy sounding, even if they kind of deal with personal level things, like being idolized by people and pretending to be happy when you're not, which a lot of people do, is what she's saying in the song Fake Happy, which is one of my favorite songs on the album. Forgiveness and Caught in the Middle and Fake Happy are probably my 3 favorite songs, and then I Told You So is an okay song, which is the 2nd single on this album, which made me go, okay, maybe I will kind of buy into what they're doing. It's kind of a funky song because it like has this weird transition when it's going to the chorus, but it makes musical sense to where it's not totally out of place. But I do like the track. It's not one of my favorites on the album. I'd say even the first half of this album is pretty damn good, and then the last few tracks are kind of meh. Especially the song No Friend, which has so much potential to be great, with that vocal delivery being buried under the instrumentation a lot, and you can't really understand what he's saying in the song, and I guess I can understand it, unfortunately. But I did dig the instrumentation in there, and what I could hear of the vocals, I was really digging that, and I kind of wish they would, I don't know, like, do something with that. I think they should revise this song and like make the vocals like pop out more, and that'd be great. Please, can you just do that? Paramore, just release the song as a single or like in an EP or something. I'd really like that. I'd like to hear it because it sounds awesome, besides the buried vocals. You know, the problem I have with this album is Hayley Williams kind of sounds exhausted. I think that was kind of the point though, because she's kind of over the punk days of her life and maybe is trying to go a little softer, even though some of the songs on here kind of go where her voice sounds really raw, and I like that. I do. I admire that. It sounds very, like, unfiltered, I guess. But the problem with that is the instrumentations feel so nicely produced and so candy-like, and then you got the vocal deliveries that kind of sound dry, and it's like there was 2 different producers trying to figure out what they wanted to do with this album. One's like, I want it dry, and then the other one's like, I want it kind of sounding nice and produced and full, and then like the mom of the situation comes in and it's like, okay, you can have half and half and we'll settle with that. Are you okay with that? And they're just like, yeah! And that's what you get. I'm not gonna say it doesn't work though, because I still like it. I like the dryness of her vocals, but it just doesn't mesh as well as I would like it to mesh. It just sounds kind of weird to my ears, I guess, but I do enjoy it. I like the rawness in her voice with the tracks. I just wish maybe, I don't know. There's no way to fix that. I mean, the dryness does sound good, I like it, and it makes sense in a way. The thing is, I don't think a Paramore fan should be really thrown off this album because it's not that bad. It's not as bad as my WTF video that I did for Hard Times, which if you haven't seen it, it's in my, I'll link it down there. But honestly, if I was to give this album a score, I would probably give it a 3 out of 5 because it's not something I'm going to come back to that often. The 3 songs that I listed off, Caught in the Middle, Forgiveness, and Fake Happy, definitely. I might even come back to Hard Times, weirdly enough, and Told You So. Okay, it's just a decent album. It's not something that rememberable. I don't think it's going to be in my top 10 list this year, definitely. But overall, I think the transition was really well with this album, and even that they continue to explore the 80s pop style, I'm kind of bored now, but I don't know, a little better producing and all that jazz, and you got like a really solid project here. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and peace.